I didn't believe myself either. I think that that is the one thing in life that we have trouble with is believing ourselves. We're plagued with doubt, it seems, most of our lives, which would make sense because whatever it is that we are looking at that we want to accomplish or do, we haven't done it yet. So it would be natural to hold a bit of doubt about that. And then belief takes a while to develop for whatever we're doing. This is why faith becomes so important, and we all try to develop in a certain way. But there was something else for me. From a child, as a young child, I always had this desire for everybody to be okay, for the world to be okay. I've talked about the story when John F. Kennedy was assassinated when I was, young. I was only 13 then, but at that time I said, wait a minute, there's supposed to be something better. This can't be happening. And I just, from that moment on, I just said, I gotta help somehow. And even though I am moving through all these challenging and difficult things for most of my life, I'm moving through that. I still would always look at others and say, well, I want them to be okay as well. I would even hide many of the things that I was moving through, the difficulties, the challenges. I didn't want people to know. And I thought about that later. I think that I didn't want people to feel bad for me. I didn't want them because I knew they would feel bad if they knew what I was going through, and I didn't want that for them. So I would hide it. I would be that person with the face that was always smiling, even though I'm going through some horrible tragedy. And when I started doing Wilhelm in 1989, when it first happened, it surprised me, first of all, because I was only doing it because I needed help. But then when it came through, I thought this is too weird. And I couldn't understand it. And I didn't want to tell others, so I put it away. And I attempted to hide it for 20 years. That's just the honest to God truth. That's what I did until other people started finding the messages and bringing them out. And I couldn't understand why they were helping them because they would say this, they would read them and say, this is really helping me. Can you send it to me? And I'm disconnected from it. So I didn't know. And it even became so apparent in 2010 because my mother at that time she was passing and she had dementia and she was moving through a lot of things, but she would bring the Wilhelm messages and she would print them out and bring them to me. She says, Roger, these are really helping me. And I passed it off as, well, she's not really there. I didn't know. And then in 2021, when Wilhelm says, we've given you everything, I doubted that as well. And then when they said, even if you meet someone, we've given you a message for their birthday because we want them to know that they're on this earth at this time for a really great reason, valid reason. I doubted that. I held back, but then I reluctantly started doing it. And there was an alignment. And I started to understand every person born has an energetic code, something within them they're meant to do. Then they told me I needed to start doing live channeling. I wasn't going to do that either. And then it started happening, and then more information started coming through. And I would go back and listen to some of the older recordings, and it was shocking to me because I don't remember it. I didn't remember the writings either. I don't remember it because I'm just channeling and receiving this information. And I listened to one that was from 3 years ago, and it would say very clearly, we have given you everything that you needed to really change your life and which would change your world. I doubted that as well. But then it kept showing up. I said, I can no longer do that. And today it became even more apparent. I have a private channeling client coming up, and I know exactly what's going on for them. Now, I knew I was intuitive, and I knew that that was starting to develop, but I hid it because it was something I didn't want to be judged about. But I can look at this person and they're questioning their place on earth right now, and I can look back at the messages and I can trace their birthday and know what they're moving through now and why they're even coming today because there is an order. There's an order in your life, and there's an order in our universe. And Wilhelm has just said, we want you all to understand it now because you're here during the restructuring of your world. And the more of you who get that, not only will you heal, and also your patterns, your generational trauma, and your lineage and your ancestors, they will heal as well because everything is happening in this moment when we let go of time. All of that seems so out of place. Even though the other benefit was, and the other thing that was occurring at the same time was that I was healing in ways I could not explain to anyone, but I still doubted. And you have doubted yourself as well because we're never done. We can do so much more when we can move beyond that. But now is the time to, this day actually is the time to fully own who you are and take this step on your evolutionary journey and do what you came to this earth to do. And at 74, that's what I'm doing. And the age doesn't even matter because it's the fulfillment. It's the thing where you can finally say, I'm at peace because this is who I am, and now I'm going to do that. And I know that I was born for this valid reason. And what I know is that everyone was, and I now can guide more people to that place. And that's the thing that Wilhelm has given to all of us. It wasn't just for me, it was for all of us. Please read the article that I've done, and you'll get so much value, and you can check out all of Wilhelm's work as well. This is time for you to live the life of your dreams. See you soon.